everyone. This is Faith Howard Mooney, VP of Member Engagement for TMC. And today I have with me one of my favorite people I met this year in the mortgage industry, Beth Eller, who is the VP of Truliant Mortgage Services. Thanks for doing this, Beth.
Thank you so much, Faith. I'm excited to be here, and you're one of my favorite new people too.
Yeah, there are some things that happened related to the pandemic that maybe weren't so nice. And then there were some other things that happened that were really nice too. And I think that the people that we had an opportunity to meet that maybe we wouldn't have is one of those things. So would love to get you. Reliant has been part of the Mortgage Collaborative since February of
Yep.
2021. So not a long period of time, but it seems like based on your engagement, you've been with us for a long period of time. So we appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So let's get to know you a little bit better. Share with me what your first job ever was.
I worked in a family-owned business in a ladies' clothing store as a clerk and learned how to run the cash register and count change back. Back then you had to do it all manually, and learned all about stock inventory, just the things you needed to do to run a small little business. It was a lot of fun. I did that all the way through high school.
That is pretty cool. It's always interesting to hear the individuals within our network that come from kind of a family-owned business background. I'm a huge local buyer, so I always love to hear that. So share with us how long you've been in the industry. And then the interesting story is, how did you get in this crazy industry?
Well, I've been in it for 34 years this year, so a long time. And like most people, I did not come out of college and think, oh, I want to be a mortgage lender.
Very rarely happens. Yeah.
Very rarely happens, yes. So I relocated to Winston-Salem to be close to my, at the time, boyfriend and now husband of 34 years, and got a job as a temporary receptionist at a mortgage company. And from there became a processor and then a loan officer, and then moved into management about, I don't know, 15, 17 years ago, something like that. So but have always loved the mortgage business, but totally fell into it by accident. But interestingly enough, my uncle, I only have one uncle, and my uncle was in the mortgage business. And so when I started work as that temporary receptionist, my mom said, call your uncle. He works in the mortgage business. That's what he does. And so I called him up, and he came down and took me out to dinner, and he said, you'll either love it or you'll hate it. People either really like it or they really don't. And so I guess I really do, since I'm in it for 34 years now.
Oh my gosh, that is such a great story. We'll have to make sure and connect you the next time we're together with Allison Johnston from Success Mortgage Partners, because it sounds like you and she might kind of have a very similar background, and you're
That's
both
funny.
dynamic ladies in our industry. So that is fantastic. The one thing, is there one thing? So obviously you came into the industry pretty early in your career. One thing that is really obvious to you right now that you wish you would have known back in the beginning?
The thing that pops into my mind is everyone said we'll be paperless in 5 years, and I think we're still kind of waiting for that. We are basically paperless in our operations now, but I think that the mortgage industry changes a lot. If you don't like change, obviously it's not the job for you. I love change. It doesn't bother me at all, but I think there's some things we've been relatively slow to change on, and one is our love of paper. And I think part of that's just because we're, in my opinion, highly over regulated. So
Yep. Yeah, exactly. If you weren't in mortgage banking, what would we find you doing?
I always wanted to be an attorney. I always wanted to be a lawyer. I was going to go to law school and move away, but I moved Winston-Salem and started in the mortgage business, and somehow going back to school just didn't seem like what I wanted to do. So but I always thought I would be an attorney, and my family would tell you it's because I argue. So
Great skill to have.
highly like to debate.
So you are in North Carolina, one of my very favorite states in the United
Mhm.
States and places to be. Share with me what your favorite thing to do is around where you live.
Um, My husband and I are empty nesters now, and we love to scoot down. We have a second home on the coast of North Carolina, not on the beach, but it's in brackish water on the Pamlico Sound. And we love to go down there and get out on the boat and run around on weekends. And I do not fish. I don't care anything about fishing. That's not me at all. But love to just run around on the boat and jump overboard and float around. And we also are fortunate to have a place in the mountains, and so we kind of go coast to coast in North Carolina and run back and forth, and that's been a lot of fun.
One of the things that I love about the state of North Carolina is the access that you have to both of those things. You can be in dramatically different environments in a very short period of time.
Yeah. So it is easy. We're about in the middle of the state, and so we can be on the coast in 3.5 hours and be in the mountains in less than 2.
Fantastic. Well, I know that we have loved having you as part of our
Oh,
network.
thanks.
It's really sad we're not going to see you at our conference in September, but we look forward to seeing you in person the very next time that we can and meeting you. You've contributed greatly to the network in the short period of time that you've been in, and know that that does not go unnoticed for us.
Thank you so much, Faith. If it were not for COVID travel restrictions, I would be there. I can assure you. So I'm looking forward to the next one for sure. We love the Mortgage Collaborative. Y'all just have been a great partner for us.
Oh, well, thank you so much. It makes our hearts happy when we hear that, for sure. Have a great day.
Thanks, you too.